hope I don't get attacked for this video, because I don't mean to bash anyone. I am just speaking my mind. I don't like talking about people anyway, but like when something is off, I will definitely say something. There's something off about Switzerland. Maybe it's Swiss men. They're weird. The power that comes with having your own money, you have no idea. You can't be asking for money to pay rent. That is ghetto. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're most definitely welcome, and if you are a regular an individual who watches my channel each and every now and again, welcome back sis, welcome back to the Dolly's gang. Yes, I'm back again with another video. You know me. Guys, it is yet another year. It is 2024. I just wanted to say happy new year. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kanyisa. I have been creating content on YouTube for quite a bit now. Like, it's been like, I think this is my third year on YouTube, and it is extremely exciting every year to come back to you guys. And so, because I haven't posted in a very long time, I just wanted to talk about, you know, the changes in my life. Not necessarily changes in my life, no, like it's 2024, you guys. We can't be doing the same things that we did last year, and I mean, doing things over and over again is just daunting sometimes. And then I thought to myself, it's time to reset and restart a new year with a clear slate, starting the year with a new mindset, because I feel like I've been doing things the same way for about 2.5 years now, and seemingly there isn't any change in my life. I'm still the same person. However, mid last year, I met someone in my life, and a lot of things changed, and my mindset changed, obviously, and that's why I wanted to come here and talk about it. And I just feel like if I talk about it here, maybe it's gonna help somebody out there. You never know. And so I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know that I'm no longer the girl that you saw on YouTube 3 years ago saying, hi, I'm not willing to work, I'm gonna be this, I want to be a sugar baby, I want to be, you know, a housewife, I want to be this woman that's taken care of by a man. Like, basically the old-fashioned way of letting a man have all the financial, yes, the financial authority of your entire life. That is very wrong, first of all. And I've realized that secondly, when as a woman you take power in having your own money, making your own money, having a job that is earning you a substantial amount in order for you to make your ends meet, then a man respects you more, and you tend to attract better quality men, men that are willing to do certain things for you. Sometimes I've realized that these days men don't even want people that don't work. And if you're doing badly in your career, you hate your job, and you're giving a guy this impression that one day you're just gonna quit and hope that he does everything for you, then they tend to run away. Guys, excuse the background. I am sitting on the floor, and that is because I am filming with daylight, and this was the last bit of lighting that we had at the end of today. I realized that I lost my tripod, and I had to like use a selfie stick, which is not too high, and so this is why we're having this setting right now. I know you guys have never seen this background. That is because I never even gave you a house tour of my new house. It's quite big, and yeah, anyway, we're not talking about that. And I realized that I achieved a lot of things after I changed my mindset. I realized that, because back in the days I used to wait, like I wouldn't even get myself a car. Like, I could afford it, but I wasn't getting myself a car because I was thinking, I'm waiting for a man to come do it for me. Can you imagine that? And so later on in the year, I realized I actually need a car, so I went and got myself a car. I got myself a car that I wanted, And of course, my significant other did help here and there. He did help very significantly, as he should. I'm not saying that you should stop, getting money from men and getting financial assistance from men, but can it not be your sole income? For example, you guys, I used to be that girl that would be like, I'm willing to elope and just go to another country and live with a man. And having almost done that twice taught me a lot of things. You cannot rely on a man. Number one, you could go to another country and end up homeless. I've seen that happening before. I recently saw someone on YouTube, and literally, honestly guys, that is my biggest fear, to go to another country, be neglected and totally homeless. That is my biggest fear. And also, people go there on short-term visas. Like, they would claim that it's a long-term visa, meanwhile it's actually a short-term visa. We all know that France gives everybody 90 days and 6 months worth of a visa. So basically they'll give you a visa that is 6 months, but then you can go and stay there for 90 days tops. And then after you overstayed, you are gonna fuck up your future, because you are definitely not gonna be allowed back in Europe. And so you definitely don't want that to happen to you. You definitely don't want to be stuck in Europe stranded, because it's extremely expensive. Let me tell you, even your 5 salaries from South Africa will not cut it there, honestly, because one day, I'm telling you, just one day, you can't even afford a cup of coffee, you can't afford a decent meal. Honey, you're gonna suffer. But yeah, so we're not doing that. We're not going online and fishing for men to go to in Europe, because that is not safe, first of all. Number two, you could be left stranded in another country, which is not right. And so you guys, I have decided for myself that I really want to work hard. I want to work hard on my career. This year I'm focusing on myself, building myself. I know that there's a lot that I've accomplished offline. I have decided that I'm gonna stop oversharing, because I realized that I was always oversharing, especially with all the things that I've achieved. Guys, I've changed. Like, I've achieved a lot more things. Like, I even have certain things that I can't even talk about here, because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging. Guys, a lot has changed, and I just feel like I wanted to speak to a young girl that is out there and doesn't know what to do. So because of that, I'm going to tell you a short story about myself, basically, of how I started, how I ended up where I am. And so, okay, so I grew up in a small town, right? And I'm going to start with a backstory of me finishing up matric and ending up where I am. Okay, it's crazy. I know it's crazy. I don't even know how I ended up here, but it's crazy. So how it all started was, I didn't study when it was matric time. I'm not even gonna lie. Everyone else was studying and they were taking matric seriously. I did not realize the importance of passing your matric well. I just thought, it's just matric, I can get a whatever, and so, do whatever. And so I didn't study, and I ended up getting a diploma. And I remember that day, the amount of anxiety that I felt just took me over. And I never thought I would get something like that. Like, I used to be not a brilliant student, but I was pretty much average enough to earn a bachelor's degree. Not bachelor's degree, I mean a bachelor's certificate for, high school. And I asked myself, how did I get here? Like, I honestly was shocked myself. Like, why? How did I even end up getting a diploma? Why didn't I get a bachelor's certificate? But then I quickly got over it, because my mom was supportive. Everyone in my family was very supportive. I mean, they didn't compare me to anyone, and I feel like when they start comparing, that's when it hits hard, and you just feel like, oh man, I'm a piece of shit, and so my mom was not judgmental. All they did was focus on getting me to school, and I ended up at the University of Free State. And you know how it is in the University of Free State. If you've been there, you know that they do accept people with diploma certificate. I didn't know that. So they accepted me, and I had to do a course where it's sort of like upgrading your matric, but you're in a degree sort of. And so I went in there, passed the first semester. Second semester I failed, and luckily for me I passed my mathematics very well, so I managed to get into the actual degree that I have now. And so I passed eventually. It took some time. It took a very long time in university. Honestly, you guys, it took about 6 years. It's as if I was studying medicine. Waste of money, I know, right? And this boils down to the kind of choices that you make in life. Like the kind of choices that you made back then, they still affect you today. The kind of choices that I made affected me in terms of the career that I chose. I ended up, you know, failing something that I shouldn't have failed, and just basically it just tells me how important it is to make good choices in your life. No matter how old you are, don't make irresponsible choices just because you think you are young, you think you are this, you think you can still recover. Of course you can probably recover, but then the repercussions are still going to be there. And so I ended up studying a degree that never even had jobs. It doesn't have jobs. Honestly, out of all the people that I studied with, I don't even know a single person that actually got a decent job. And that's how bad it is. And so I ended up jobless for about 3 years. And luckily, not luckily, I'm just saying this because it was, you know, it was a positive, there's a positive side and a negative side of it. I ended up pregnant on my final year, and I had a baby, of course. Luckily I passed and I graduated. When I graduated, I think my son was like 3 months old or 4 months old or something stupid like that. And yeah, after that I thought, you know what, I've graduated, now I'm gonna get a job immediately and I'm gonna get out of this situation, you know, I can fix this. Meanwhile, it's all boiling down to my choices that I made in high school of not studying. You know, I could have been a doctor, I could have been, you know, something better. I could have studied something better than what I studied. But I don't want to beat myself about it because I managed to, you know, get back on track. I think so. I managed to get the life that I wanted, because I am literally living the life that I wanted for myself when I was this age. And so reality hit. I stayed home for 3 years without a job, and this one day I accidentally went on Tinder. It wasn't an accident, it was because I had been fighting with the love of my life at the time, and we ended up breaking up, and so I had to move on. You know, my strategy to move on, because it was during COVID times and I was stuck at home, obviously because I was a mom and I didn't have a nanny, so there was nowhere else that I could find someone that I liked. Not that I didn't find any potentials, like there was a lot of men that were just like not men that I wanted, that were asking me out, like for example taxi drivers. Yes, I became the type of person that was being asked out by taxi drivers. That was depressing, I'm not gonna lie. I decided to download Tinder and I thought I was gonna find someone, you know, like I had used Tinder before, but then like I never met anyone on there. I never took it seriously, and so this time around I think there was a special and I was trying to take a screenshot to show my friend and I accidentally paid for it, right? And when I accidentally paid for it, then I get to see the people that have liked me. And then I saw on this my list of liked people, I saw that there was someone that super liked me. And I'm like, what? Someone super liked me? Am I that pretty? I remember it was my first time ever being super liked. And so I went to this person's profile. He was not attractive at all, I'm not gonna lie. And so I went on and spoke to him because I really wanted to hear, what's your story? You just super liked me. Why do you like me so much? You know, like I was curious. And so we started talking, we hit it off. He started calling me late at night. He started, you know, sending me messages every day, and I'm like super excited. I'm like, okay, at least now I found someone that I can actually speak to on a daily basis. After that, I told him, you know, obviously my sob story of that I've been looking for a job for over 3 years now and I'm not winning. It happened that he had a particular position in a particular company, and he was like, their receptionist is actually going on maternity leave soon, so you can come in and replace our receptionist as she's out in maternity because you have experience as a receptionist. And yes, I did have experience as a receptionist. I told you guys about my first job. I'm not sure if I posted that video before, but I filmed that video a couple of times telling you about my first job and all of that. Oh yeah, I did tell you guys about my first job in my previous video where my boss's wife was crazy. And so yeah, I did have experience in reception, and so I accepted the offer. I literally, in 2 days time, we made this decision that I will be taking a bus to Joburg. Don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'm gonna sleep. I had no idea what I was gonna do with myself. And so I hit up a cousin of mine, and she happened to stay in Alex at the time. I had never been to Alex. I didn't even know what it looked like. No, not Alex, Tembisa. I didn't even know what it looked like. I didn't know what type of a place it was, and I didn't even know what to expect. But she was like, honey, come, it's okay, you can come over. I will definitely give you a place to stay. You guys, it was a back room. It was like, for her, it was her family thing. It was her family business. So you know how they have back rooms and all of that. I can't remember if we were sleeping in a shack. Yeah, I think we were sleeping in a shack. And I woke up from that shack. I'm like, honey, I'm not about this life. I'm not gonna live in a shack. But reality seemed that I would be living in that shack. And I started asking myself a lot of questions. How did I get here? And so I woke up, went to this interview, and they offered me the job on the spot. I had no idea that would happen. I was extremely nervous, but I made it through, and that's all that mattered. And when I looked at my salary, I was like, oh my gosh, where am I gonna stay? What can I afford with the salary? Probably a shack. And also it's only for 3 months, so you can't really, you know, go and start a lease, because a lease is like 12 months or 6 months. And so I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Luckily, this guy was so helpful that he actually got me an apartment. He helped me get my first apartment, and I stayed there for quite a bit. He did help pay my rent for, I think, the first 3 months or so. And then when he realized that nothing was happening between us, he decided, you know what, honey, you're on your own. And yes, I was on my own with that little salary, and I had to make a plan. You know, I had to start hustling. And that's when I met someone that told me about, you know, meeting guys online and asking them for money and so because that worked so much for me, I got so consumed in that lifestyle that I thought I could possibly never work in my life and just rely on getting money from men online, because I mean, I'm not doing anything. It's like basically scamming people in a way, but not necessarily scamming them, because like they're giving you the money intentionally and willingly, if I may put it that way, and it's because they love you. That's why. It's because you guys are in a relationship, right? And so I lived like that until, you know, last year, and that's when I realized that that's not the life that I want for myself. I definitely want something solid for myself. I want to be taken seriously in my career, and obviously I was job hopping here and there because I always wanted to increase my salary. You know, the quickest way to increase your salary is by job hopping, right? But then you also can't overdo it, because sometimes you do need to build a relationship with certain companies, have build up a reputation, you know, and all of that. And I feel like things have changed, and they're still going to change even more. And that's why I also started a YouTube channel. It was because I wanted to like get a few extra pounds here and there. Not that I was getting a lot. Honestly, the only time I ever get paid a lot on YouTube is when I travel overseas and post from there. I didn't know this. I didn't know that when you post overseas you get paid more. Like, so I always make sure that when I'm overseas I post a little bit more so that my revenue can, you know. So that's how I've been collecting a bit of money here and there on YouTube, getting paid campaigns, and not necessarily on YouTube. The campaigns I do get on Instagram, they're not a lot, but like it's okay. It's like passive income type of situation. But the most important thing is looking back 5 years ago to now, I can see a huge difference in my life. And also I'm thinking now, I'm turning 30 this year. When I'm 35, what am I going to say? When I'm 35, am I going to look back and say, oh my gosh, I've accomplished this and that and that and that? I ask myself those type of questions these days, and I feel like it's the mentality that you get to build up as you meet certain people. Because if you meet shallow-minded people, you're going to have a shallow mindset. And so I just wanted to advise little girls that go to school. It doesn't matter whether you fail or you pass. Even if you are getting someone that's supporting you financially and you feel like you are never ever gonna need school ever in your life, rather go back to school and still have that qualification, because you might need it. Because nobody knows, you don't know yourself how long that man will live. What if he dies? God forbid. What if he leaves you for the next best thing? What's gonna happen when you're 40? Because most men that are cheating on their wives, they're cheating on their wives because they're now grown up and they're no longer fun and exciting. And also pretty fades, pretty fades. And so yeah, I just thought to myself, I want to change. And this year we're not doing all of that. We're no longer hoping to meet a European guy that's gonna sweep you off your feet and live with you in Europe in harmony and give you all this money, because all these European women, they work hard. What makes you think you're different? Life in Europe is so expensive that it's kind of impossible to be staying with someone and not work yourself. So that is much better, to actually have the skills, build up your skills, build up your career, build up your studies. Like, no matter what, never stop studying, honey. Never stop studying, because knowledge is one thing that nobody will ever take away from you. And I feel like when you seek knowledge, you are seeking growth more than anything. And I mean, everybody grows, but not everybody grows into something. And yeah, I just wanted to share this little piece of advice, especially because I saw someone's video this morning and she seems to be struggling in Europe. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mentioning names, but this particular girl seems like she was in Cape Town living off a man, and so she had to let go of, you know, all of that, just because now she broke up with that man and now she has to go out and fend for herself. And she went to Europe to meet this guy for the first time. And to me, I know she never said anything about what happened, but it seems like a domestic violence type of situation that happened between her and this guy. And she got chased out and she became homeless. Imagine being homeless in the snow, in the cold snow of Europe. No man, that's crazy. That is really, really crazy. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Rather come back home and, you know, build up your career, build up your life. Rather go to Europe because you want to, because you can afford to. I mean, if you get caught, won't you get deported? Because, I mean, when you applied for the visa, you said you can afford to stay in Europe for whatever time that they're giving you to spend. So meaning you lied. Or was it a sponsorship letter? And if it's a sponsorship letter, then whoever took you to Europe is responsible for taking care of you while you're there. But yeah, I used to be the type of girl that would go to Europe without any money. I'm not gonna lie, but that has changed. That has since changed. I'm actually planning a trip for Europe. You guys will see. It's not going to be anytime soon. It's going to be this year, definitely. But yeah, I'm planning also some local trips, you know. I also want to like do a little bit more, you know. I feel like it's just so much fun when you do things with your own money. at your own pace, at your own time. You can do whatever you want and nobody controls what you do. And so I just thought I'd come here and just say hello. Happy New Year. I hope you have your New Year's resolutions set up, and I hope you're gonna follow them, and I wish you all the best for the year, and I hope that you don't back down from what you promised yourself, because I feel like a New Year's resolution is something very personal. It's a promise to yourself, and it's up to you whether you want to keep it or not, you know. You guys, I'm not here to bash anyone. I don't like talking about people anyway, but like when something is off, I will definitely say something. Guys, work on yourself, work on your career, work on your money. I mean, the power that comes with having your own money, you have no idea. You have no idea what having your money does to you, because it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like when my salary comes in, I'm like, this is mine. And by the way, my car, listen, I'm not gonna say anything, because I said I'm no longer oversharing. So yeah, just know that I'm sorted. And so with all that being said, I'm not saying that you should stop getting money from men, or men that are capable of paying for your bills, because we still need our assistance. We just need a complemented salary, not like him paying for everything from the get-go, because honey, asking men for money to pay your bills is the ghetto. Rather ask a man for money to get you the next iPhone, to get you a bag, to get you an accessory for your iPhone, an accessory for your filming, and a camera. You can ask for that from a man, but you can't be asking for money to pay rent. That is ghetto, bruh. That is so ghetto. Y'all be asking men for rent money? And to be honest, you guys, as much as I suffered in my life, I've never asked for rent money. I never. And you know what? Even if I ask for rent money, I know that my rent is paid. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie and a tactic to try and get money from a man. It's never for the rent. I've never been desperate to pay my rent. I've never. I always afford my rent, Shem. That I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Guys, I'm literally filming in front of a window, and these kids are literally looking at me and they're saying hello. Yeah, that's the thing about having neighbors. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. Yeah. please, I hope I don't get attacked for this video, because I don't mean to bash anyone. I am just speaking my mind, and I am speaking my mind because I've got experience, you know. I have been that hun that was stuck in Europe for quite a bit, but don't get me wrong, I was never homeless. But like, I know how it feels like to be stuck with someone that you've broken up with, and someone that you don't like anymore. Yeah, y'all know how Switzerland ended. It wasn't great. Luckily he was a good guy, so he never chased me out of the house. But yeah, there's something off about Switzerland. Maybe it's Swiss men. They're weird. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. From me to you, it's only love. Bye.